This is a 9 First Warning Weather Alert.
And hi there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh along with meteorologist Brandon Spinner, and we're going to take a look at a situation on the roads too that some folks who have to drive may need to know about this. First though, let's give you the weather update because we've seen a bit of a changeover from some of the snow into some of that freezing rain and sleet. That's designated by that pink that you see there. You'll notice the darker blue pretty much over the entire greater Cincinnati area. That's some very heavy snow, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is what's next. See the pink starting to creep into Owen County. If we take a closer look at it, you'll notice what's going on down here. Right at about Owenton or so, we're starting to see some of that change, and that's slowly going to be lifting toward us. And in fact, there's even some pockets of this going on right now. There's a little bit, it looks like, right up here in through Boone County or so. As for temperatures, we're still in the low 20s. They haven't really moved. 23 degrees in Cincinnati. Our 9 First Warning Doppler, though, is showing some drier weather stretching up to southeast Indiana and spots of Warren and down through Claremont County. But we are still going to see some heavy snow across the area. Take a look at this here, and you'll notice as it goes through the last loop here that in some spots down to Boone, Kenton, Campbell County, we're talking about 2 or 3 inches an hour in snow. So it really is still in a lot of areas coming down very strong. As a result, we still continue with the 100 folks in Butler County who don't have any power, and then across Hamilton County, about 500. Now, let's get it over to Brandon and get more on the update and the forecast.
Yeah, Steve, the latest numbers coming snow totals wise have jumped up towards just about 7 in Glencoe, Kentucky, and we saw 6.2 through Aurora, Indiana. CVG as of 7 o'clock, that number was sitting at 5.9. The total of 6.9 is the record for today's date, which we will most likely swing right past. 5.5, excuse me, in Bethel at 4.7 inches in Batesville, which was the last update coming in right around that 8:45 time frame. Now, if you haven't heard already, all departures and arrivals through the rest of the night tonight have been canceled at CVG. That 7 p.m. snow total at 5.9 inches. It continues to come down. Our 9 First Warning live Doppler, Steve was just breaking down, shows some pockets of heavier snow out there. Additionally, we're seeing that changeover as this system's coming in out of the south and the west. I do want to point out this drier air coming in just to the south of Evansville, Indiana, and it's starting to ride up towards Louisville. That will at some point undercut our moisture here in the tri-state closer to the late evening. Now, that changeover that Steve mentioned, you're seeing all blue on the map here, but when we take a look at a different product, we call it correlation coefficient. This takes a look within the storm and sees a difference in particles. And when we start to see these yellows and oranges, that's an indication here that what we're seeing is that wintry mix turning to some sleet, some freezing rain, mixing in with that snow, and that will continue to occur through the rest of your evening. Still looking at periods of heavy snow and sleet between now and midnight, then into early parts of tomorrow morning. It changes over to freezing rain, and then no more snow showers late tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. Let's break it down in future view. Through the overnight tonight, there's that freezing rain and sleet really starting to come through, and then the drier air that undercuts it. You see it coming through early in the morning tomorrow. Even by the time we get out the door, you may think things are okay. There will be pockets of some freezing drizzle, but once we get towards the 8 or 9 o'clock time frame, that wraparound precipitation comes through with periods of freezing rain changing to some more heavy snow. An additional 2 to 3 inches can't be ruled out, possibly as much as 4, depending on how slowly that wrap up happens. And behind that is when we finally clear out. Snow totals when this is all said and done still looking on track, anywhere between 8 to 12 inches for majority of the metro. The further south you get, the more issues when it comes to ice accumulation. That really hasn't started yet. That transition is beginning now, where we could see 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of ice, if not more, the further south you get. That's where we'll also see some more road issues. Steve, we've already seen massive issues on the interstates here across the tri-state. One behind you right there on the board. What's going on I-71?
Yeah, it's been a problem pretty much all night. Traffic on Fort Washington Way has been at a standstill. Again, we've got another problem with a tractor trailer. You'll notice it right here and the jackknife trailer that it is. So all of 71 South and US 50 West are closed due to snow and ice. WCPO 9 News reporter Andrew Rowan is live along I-71. How long they've been sitting around there exactly, Andrew? What's the latest?
Steve, I just yelled down to one of the drivers who was standing there, who got out to basically stretch his legs, and I yelled at him and I said, hey, how long you been here? He said 3 hours. That was an hour ago, and there's still been no movement. I want to show you what it looks like right now. The left lane is open. It gets you to 3rd Street. The other lanes have not changed at all. I want to show you some video from about an hour and a half ago. It looks the exact same as it did right now. You still have tractor trailers backed up. We've seen a lot of the cars get in the left lane to go to 3rd Street. Everybody else here is at a standstill. So this is why we always say make sure you have what you need in your car if you got stuck, because these people were driving and now they're stuck. We know ODOT is working to get those lanes open. We were told by the Cincinnati Police Department an hour and a half ago, an hour and 10 minutes or so, that it should be open within the hour. That window is now closing, but we're hoping to get an update from them. Back here on the top of the pedestrian walkway over 71, this is right by Mount Adams, by the casino. I've got my ruler, not to be the stereotypical guy with a ruler. Tried to find a clear spot where there's not been a lot of wind. 5 inches exactly is what it says here on this overpass, Steve. So a lot of snow, and at this point, we've been out here for hours. This is the heaviest portion of it that we've seen. The snowflakes are the biggest, and it's also pretty cold out here, frankly, Steve.
Yeah, I bet it is, Andrew. Thanks very much for the update. We're talking about a difficult night ahead with all the changing precipitation happening, back to snow and